If you're heading out the door right now, you may want to slow down. There are roads out there. They are very slick with ice across the state. We have team coverage for you on road conditions next.
The prime suspect in the Gilgo Beach murders is facing charges now that he has murdered a Connecticut woman. We'll have details on the evidence being used to accuse him.
And a measles outbreak across state lines is raising questions on youth vaccinations. We're going to head to Studio 61 for some expert advice on the growing threat of measles. That's coming up for you at 8:30.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a Weather Watch alert.
Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here at 8 o'clock. I'm Tim Lambert.
And America Areas, thanks for spending part of your morning with us. It's a cold one. It is icy out there. We're getting more from meteorologist Matt Scott as we take a live look outside. Here we go. Views all across our state.
Bright and sunny.
Hartford, Mohegan Sun, Guilford, and New Haven. Sunshine out there, but it's not really doing much for the temperature.
No, somebody go up to the sun and put some new AAA batteries in it, because that beautiful 4 camera shots right there, but none of it warming us up at all. Icy cold Tuesday. Be careful, not all on the roads, but also on your walkways. Watch the ground beneath you, maybe slick. Sun's up, temperatures are not, and we have prolonged cold in the 7-day. We'll talk about that coming up. Our cloud and radar picture is quiet. Wind out of the north and west. Temperatures 19 in Hartford, 20 degrees in New Haven. But look at the winds. Fairly light, except look at Groton at 15. What's the real feel there? 7. 2 up Route 8 from Waterbury to Torrington. That's it. My goodness. We don't have a lot to talk about on the satellite radar picture, nor will we. Maybe a few clouds this afternoon, but focus on those winds. You get them into double digits for a quick spell. Takes temperatures in the mid-20s. Feels like the mid to upper teens. That's it. So bundle up accordingly. We'll talk about the rest of the weekend. Maybe a little more snow to deal with before the weekend. That's coming up in a few minutes. 8:02. What is the ground like under the cars? Rachel Piscatelli.
Well, Matt, we are following a multi-vehicle crash now over in Waterbury. It does look like some of the cars are involved that are kind of spun out. So definitely not a good scene there. We're seeing very heavy delays on the eastbound side of 84 because of this crash. This is going to be just before exit 25. We'll take a live look outside. Sun glare kind of making it hard to see. One lane is getting by, center and right lane are closed. And there's 1 or 2 vehicles over here. There's another vehicle up front, and then there's another vehicle there. And it looks like there may even be a tow truck that's already arrived on scene up towards the corner of your screen. So we have multi-vehicles involved in this crash, and the delays are starting to stretch back. You can see all well behind that crash as one lane is getting by this morning. So those drive times, Waterbury exit 18 to 25. It is going to be an 18-minute drive. The other side is 5 minutes on that westbound side of 84. Now, I also wanted to mention that Tweed reporting no flights are leaving this morning. They are all delayed till at least 11 a.m. So make sure you check with the Velo prior to heading to the airport. And there are only a few delays and cancellations at Broadway International this morning, guys.
Okay, Rachel, thank you. All right, let's get a check on the roads themselves.
Yeah, we're getting in check with Fox 61's Brooke Griffin. She's in New Haven, keeping a close eye out there on the roads. How's it looking where you are right now?
Yeah, so we went ahead and hopped out of the storm tracker. Wanted to see kind of what the roads were like, the sidewalks, all of that. This is the Trumbull Street intersection here. You're probably pretty familiar with it. We have Yale over to our left, and then the right kind of goes back towards the highway. So if you're seeing this right now, obviously traffic is moving fine, but it's in those right turns that it looks a little bit icy still in most of these intersections. So in those shady spots, the right turns that maybe aren't used as often, that's where we're seeing some of those maybe problem spots. A lot of people taking it really, really slow in those turns and curves, you know, as they should for sure, because you don't know if that's ever going to be ice or salt. It doesn't really make a difference as long as you're being slow. But then here down on the sidewalk, I do want to show you, if we could come back to me real quick, that this is actually quite a bit icy. So over here, you might be fine. But if you're not paying attention, you're just walking, texting, holding your coffee, whatever you're doing, you could hit one of these icy spots. This is very slippery. It looks like it wouldn't be. Maybe it looks like it could be icy, but that is not actually the case. So be very careful where you're walking today, not just in New Haven. This is all across Connecticut. It is very cold outside. While the sun's shining, it's only about 17 degrees maybe over here, so I'm not properly dressed, but as long as you are and paying attention, you should be good to go. Just watch out for those. You don't want to end up with a cracked elbow or something as you're heading into work or maybe to get your morning coffee. Be careful out on the roads, be careful on the sidewalks. That's really the best thing that we can offer you this morning. Back to you guys.
The Fox 61 Storm Tracker is sponsored by Nero Facilities Management.
The Michelle Troconis trial will pick back up in Stamford in about 2 hours. We are expecting to hear more testimony this morning from a nanny who says she met Troconis while working for Jennifer Dulos' family.
Yeah, Troconis has been charged with conspiracy to commit murder and other charges in Dulos' disappearance. Fox 61's Lindsey Kane is live in Stamford now to set the stage for day 4 of testimony. Lindsey, the babysitter, though, wasn't the only person who was on the witness stand yesterday.
Hi, good morning. For a majority of the day, Connecticut police detective took the stand who was on scene at Jennifer's home when she was first reported missing. Now, he was talking about evidence they found inside that house. Retired police detective Matthew Riley speaking to the jurors, showing pictures of that evidence from 2019. Now, several photos were shown to the jury, including what police say were blood-like stains inside a roll of paper towels, on the kitchen faucet, the countertop, the cabinet handle, the garage, and from Jennifer's Chevy Suburban found on the side of the road. Now, police immediately suspected foul play and a cleanup effort. Detective Riley says while on scene, he used what's called a Kastle-Meyer or KM test, which looks for the presence of blood.
Perform the test by taking a swab, then you put a drop of the hydrogen peroxide on it. And if you get an immediate color change, it'll turn a bright pink color. That's a positive test.
Many tests came back positive and some negative. Now, the test doesn't differentiate between human blood or, for example, animal blood, meaning they are presumptive blood tests and not conclusive. Troconis' defense continues to poke holes with the blood tests, going as far as to say it's the equivalent of putting on perjure testimony. Now, right at the end of the court day, the Dulos family nanny took the stand. Now, she talked about the relationship dynamics between Fotis and Jennifer. She says going back in 2017, things took a turn when Jennifer first found out about an affair. Now, that nanny is set to take the stand again this morning right as we open the court day. So we'll continue to keep you updated on everything that happens inside court, on air, online, and on Fox 61 Plus as well. For now, live in Stamford this morning, Lindsey Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Lindsey, thank you for that update. It is 8:08. The man who is suspected of being the Gilgo Beach serial killer in Long Island has now been charged with the murder of a Connecticut woman.
Prosecutors using DNA evidence to connect prime suspect Rex Heuermann to the murder of Maureen Brainerd Barnes from Norwich. Heuermann is currently facing murder charges for the deaths of 3 other women. The victims' remains were found between 2010 and 2011. Now, Heuermann pleaded not guilty to those charges, as well as the latest charge for Brainerd Barnes' disappearance. Prosecutors say DNA from a female hair found on her body was used to help them link Heuermann to Brainerd Barnes' murder.
Well, the biggest change is the DNA evidence, and we've received significant DNA evidence between the time of the first arraignment and this time. We earlier reported on mitochondrial DNA evidence as to 3 of those hairs. We now have nuclear DNA results for all 5 of the hairs.
The family of Maureen Brainerd Barnes spoke to the public for the first time yesterday morning.
I remember she read to me every night, and now I can no longer remember the sound of her voice.
It has been 16 years since the last time I saw my sister, 16 years since I heard her voice, because 16 years ago, she was silenced.
Heuermann will continue to be held without bail. The judge set the next court date for February 6th. Oh, new this morning, a manhunt is underway after an attempted carjacking in Portland. This happened just after midnight. Police say during the incident, shots were fired, but no word on if anyone was hurt. Middletown police say they found the car and then followed it down to New Haven. They say after the car hit a curb getting off I-91. The people inside got out and they ran away. They haven't been found yet. We are working to get more information, including how many people police are looking for and where the car was stolen from.
Well, this morning, firefighters are investigating a house fire in Wethersfield that they say broke out just before midnight on Fairview Drive. You notice there's not a whole lot of damage, although they did have to cut a hole in the roof. That's because they were able to bring the fire under control within 15 minutes. 2 people who were inside at the time got out safely, and thankfully none of the firefighters were hurt either.
A Mansfield Middle School music teacher accused of threatening a student on a bus is expected in court today. An arrest warrant claims that Kenneth Johnson told a student that he would, quote, rip his face off if he talked back again. Well, the student told police that it started after he brought a stick onto the bus and then refused to get rid of it. State police say the incident happened back in November. Johnson is now on administrative leave.
Well, there is a shutdown showdown in D.C. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are scrambling to pass a new spending bill. I'll tell you how the president is getting involved in hopes to avoid a partial government shutdown.
Plus, a school district struggling to decide how to make ends meet for the upcoming school year. Fox 61's Angela Bavaro has more details on that at 8:30 for you.
Also, we hope you got a sweet tooth. Today in Work in CT, we're going to head to not a mom and pop shop, but a grandma and grandpa shop, delivering delicious homemade fudge.
And as we head to break, you're taking a live look here through our Hartford City Cam. Sunny out there, but it is cold. A lot more news ahead for you. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Medicine is now on its way to Israeli hostages who are in Hamas captivity.
Yeah, it comes as the Biden administration participates in discussions in hopes of securing another hostage release deal. Hamas militants have brokered a deal allowing medicine for hostages and additional humanitarian aid into Gaza. It's the first agreement between Hamas and Israel since a week-long ceasefire in November. Meanwhile, a top National Security Council official is in Doha this week to discuss the release of more hostages. The Biden administration is also expected to announce plans to redesignate Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen as specifically designated global terrorists.
Back here at home, U.S. senators knocked down a measure that would have made military aid to Israel conditional. The proposal, introduced by Bernie Sanders, said aid would be provided based on whether the Israeli government is violating human rights in international accords. Only 11 senators supported it.
Dozens of pro-Palestine supporters rallied on Capitol Hill to call for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. Code Pink organizers called for the protests to kick off 4 congressional days of actions for Palestinians. Now, they were eventually escorted out of the building peacefully.
It was a busy day at the White House, or it will be a busy day at the White House today, sorry. President Biden is hosting Senate and House leaders from both sides of the aisle. It's his plan to get them to negotiate a final government spending bill draft. It's all in hopes of avoiding a partial government shutdown. Now, right now, Senate leaders still need to agree to time to pass a final version of their bill, and the House would then still need to vote on it. And time is running short. The current deadline to pass a resolution is midnight Friday.
The next Republican presidential debate in New Hampshire is off. ABC News canceled the debate after Nikki Haley said that she would not take part unless former President Trump did as well. Trump has skipped every debate so far this election season, and that left Ron DeSantis as the sole candidate in the debate lineup. The debate was scheduled for tomorrow night ahead of next Tuesday's primary.
Disgraced former attorney Alex Murdaugh is trying to get a new murder trial in the deaths of his wife and son. He claims the clerk of the court tampered with the jury and made prejudicial statements against him during his double murder trial. His attorneys will present evidence supporting their argument at a hearing later this month. Murdaugh is currently serving 2 consecutive life prison terms for those murders and then an additional 27 years for financial crimes.
The shooter who opened fire at an LGBTQ+ nightclub will plead to new federal charges. The 23-year-old shooter killed 5 people and endangered the lives of more than 40 others at Club Q back in 2022. He is being charged with dozens of charges for hate crimes and firearm violations. Documents show that he plans to plead guilty and get multiple life sentences under an agreement that would allow him to avoid the death penalty. He's currently serving life in prison for state charges.
Today, the woman who's accused former President Trump of defamation will take the stand. E. Jean Carroll is expected to describe how Trump's comments affected her life after he denied that he sexually abused her. Keep in mind, a jury decided that Trump did, and a judge has already ruled the comments to be defamatory. So this is essentially the penalty phase of the trial, where the jury will determine how much money Trump should have to pay Carroll in damages. She's looking for $10 million. Back in 2022, that jury again found Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation in a separate case for separate comments. That time, they awarded Carroll $5 million.
Federal prosecutors are opposing Hunter Biden's request to toss his gun charges. They say it's because his gun pouch had cocaine residue on it. Now, this is all connected to a 3-count indictment against the president's son, which accuses him of owning a gun while using narcotics in 2018. Biden has pleaded not guilty and says that he stopped using drugs by that time. He claims that he's being singled out for political purposes.
All right, we have a weather watch alert for mainly the ice. Temperatures are cold, they're staying cold, and anything that's residual from yesterday, not a big snow, but doesn't take a lot of ice to cause some trouble. Rachel's going to update you on a multi-car accident coming up in a few minutes. Meantime, numbers stay below freezing for your high temperatures for the next few days. Forget getting up to 35. Which is the normal. We can't get to 32. Satellite radar picture showing you not much other than the wind out of the north and west. Enough of a wind today that'll take low temperatures and drop them down a few pegs. Big picture, nothing across much of the nation. This is all cold. There's a system off in the northwest. We'll keep an eye on that as it tracks across the nation. Doesn't look like a direct hit for us. However, does usher in another shot of cold air that comes in behind that for the weekend. 19 in Hartford, 20 on the Green in New Haven. Temperatures ranging from 15 to 20. That's it. Then you got to factor in the wind chills, which are even lower. Winds are up to 15 miles an hour in Groton. That takes the real feel in New London County down to 7. Takes it down to 2 in Torrington and Waterbury, 3 in New Milford. So it is bitterly cold across the board. Temperatures, even with abundant sunshine, only warming up into the mid to upper 20s today. Then you got to factor in the winds, and it'll drop it down considerably. Tomorrow morning, lather, rinse, repeat. Mostly clear, mostly cold. Let's try that again. Mostly clear, completely cold. That's a little more accurate. As temperatures struggle for the time being. Temperatures, again, mid-20s today. Watch the winds, becoming westerly, but anytime you see that wind at double-digit territory, you're talking about wind chills that are dropped by double digits about. Plan for the mid-teens. That is it today. And then tomorrow morning, we'll do that again with an overnight low in the mid-teens on average. 31 for tomorrow, 28 with some late snow on Friday. Not a big deal. Guidance doesn't seem to support a big snowmaker, just snow showers at this point. As you know, that can change. But look at the cold air. This seems to be just about a guarantee. 24, 26 for Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows down to a dozen. Rebounding the temperatures in the next week across the state, including the shoreline, as we get into the lower 40s beginning on Tuesday. That is a look at the forecast. 8:21. Tim Lammers, back to you.
Matt, thank you. Right now, the war in Ukraine continues. We're going to have more on the recent attack that injured over a dozen Ukrainian civilians. Also, state representatives are pleading to the House floor to protect healthcare workers. We're going to take you to Capitol Hill for a call to action at 8:30. And as we head to the break, a quick check on the roads. We've got a slowdown on 84 eastbound in Waterbury. We are taking a look at news from around the world this morning. Right now in Ukraine, we know over a dozen people are recovering after a Russian missile attack. Last night, 2 missiles hit a residential area in Kharkiv. 17 people were hurt, 2 of them badly. Officials say that at least 10 buildings were heavily damaged, too. This attack comes after Russian missiles hit a hotel in that same city just last week, injuring 11 people. Protests are breaking out across major cities in Haiti, where people are calling for the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry. These protests are forcing closures across the nation. A lot of these people are supporters of former rebel leader Guy Philippe. He led a rebellion against the government back in 2004. Philippe, who was repatriated to Haiti last month after serving years in an American prison, said that he wanted to tell supporters he wants to transform the island and has no plans of a coup. Right now, Haiti is being overrun by dozens of gangs. Kenya is embarking on its biggest rhino relocation project ever. This week, veterinarians and rangers began tracking, darting, and moving 21 of the critically endangered beasts to a new home. Wildlife officials have stressed that the challenging project will likely take weeks because of just how big they are. This is Kenya's most recent attempt at relocation. Back in 2018, a similar project failed as all 11 of the animals they tried to relocate died. Well, still to come on Connecticut's news station, a groundbreaking treatment is being made available for kids with a specific inherited blood disorder. We're going to share how that treatment works in today's Health Watch. Plus, we're checking in with Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro. Angelo, what are you working on?
Hey, good morning, Tim. Hartford Public Schools is working to overcome a major budget deficit heading into the next school year. We are live with all the details about what is driving that shortfall.